Understanding these three mindsets is going to take your self-improvement journey, going from slight uptake with each passing month to fucking boom. That is my goal with this video, to give you the highest ROI advice that's going to make the most change in your life. So fucking buckle up and pay attention. Now, the first point is counterintuitive to what modern society has led us to believe. Men are meant to be stoic creatures that don't feel emotion. We face something emotional and we're told to just deal with it, to push it down, to be stoic, be that cool chat about it. It doesn't bother me. And that mentality is a massive fucking problem. Why is that bad advice? Why? Well, what's actually meant to happen is, say you have a very emotional event going on. Say you have a breakup, literally anything that causes you to be emotional. The natural state of you in this time period would be to put on the stoic face, I'm a man, I don't feel anything, to push it down. You wouldn't allow yourself to cry, you wouldn't allow yourself to feel the emotion, you wouldn't process the emotion. You would push it down. No, it doesn't exist, doesn't bother me, I'm better than that, and I'm above it. And this mentality leads to not having processed emotions. What's a not processed emotion? Picture a running sink, a faucet with water running down into the sink, and then the sink, obviously, the water goes down the sink. Now, picture the faucet with the water. That is your emotion. Oh, that's the emotional energy that's coming out. Then there's obviously the water coming out, and then it just flows straight through down the drain without any problems getting stuck or anything like that. Now, what happens when you don't process an emotion? When you push it down, regress it, and you don't allow yourself to feel it? Well, grab a little plug up the drain, and that water, instead of going down the drain, just stays there, slowly builds up, until eventually it overfills and creates a disaster for your house, and water is everywhere and it overfills, and it's a nightmare. That is what happens in your own life. If you don't process emotions, it's going to manifest in many different ways. You're going to get irrational, emotional, you're going to be depressed, and feel horrible, and you're not going to know why. You're going to be pissed at people when there's no genuine reason to be. You're just going to feel bad, and then you would not be able to connect those two dots. Okay, that unprocessed emotion, that time when I got broken up, now this thing is making me remember that time. I didn't process the emotion, and my brain is going haywire. And you just don't connect the dots, you don't process the emotion, it's just just overfills and it's fucked. This doesn't sound very scientific, but it's what happens. My, again, understanding of how to process the emotion is this. When that emotion arises, don't push it down. Don't act all stoic. It doesn't bother me. Don't act like that. Instead, now this is going to sound both cringe and woo-woo. If I said this to my younger self, he'd be like, what the fuck? So anyway, bear with me. I'll keep an open mind. This will change your life. So instead of when those times happen that you just regress it, push it down, fucking doesn't happen, doesn't bother me. Instead of that, put your hand on your chest and accept what's going on. Accept and look at the emotion that's coming up and just sit with it. Sit with it with a bit of childlike curiosity and just look at it. Allow it to just exist, to float out of your body. And shortly after, it's just going to have left the body. You might, if it's a strong emotion, you might feel like fucking getting up, punching something. Just sit there and feel into it. Don't push it down. Don't logically deny it away. Just accept it. A good little picture that you can actually understand this. So think of an embarrassing memory. Everyone has it, those embarrassing memories where you're just like, oh, fuck, I really shouldn't have did that. Now, when I think of those times, they don't bother me anymore. Because I am above you, I'm better. No, it's because I've actually processed all of my emotions. Not all of them, but the vast majority compared to before. I am such a more healed person. Anyway, which is why I feel like I'm qualified to give advice on this. So anyway, you feel that embarrassing moment kick up. You feel that emotion inside. Instead of just trying to do something else, distract yourself, go to your phone or something, instead of picking up your phone, but instead sit there and look at the emotion. Just look at your body. And when I say look at your body, don't just, oh, I'm looking at my body. Direct your attention, your awareness to that feeling. Right now, if you were to say hello, hello, hello in your internal chatter and then focus on it, you can see it. That's what I want you to do with your body. Got it? Good. Okay, second piece of advice. If you fail or don't live up to your own standards, you're not a failure, you're only human. And that failure is just a stepping stone. That you don't have to, again, if you fail, you're not a failure of a human being. This, again, is advice that I wish I heard when I was younger. That if you set yourself a goal of meditating every day for a few weeks, you fail that goal. You're not a horrible person. You're not a failure just because you didn't do that. If you don't live up to your ideal state, you're not a failure of a human being. And that shouldn't, in and of itself, allow your self-worth to go down. Because I know I had my self-worth entirely hinging on my external achievements. If I said, oh yeah, I'm going to go to the gym, or I want other people to like me, those were the two things that my self-worth actually hinged on. It hinged on other people's validation and external success, basically. Which is not the way to do it at all. You want to derive acceptance from yourself. Just because you are. You exist. You can accept yourself regardless of if you're loved by others, regardless of if you're liked by your friends or you're not accepted, or if you failed to start that business, or you didn't get your dream physique, or you failed on that goal. Irrespective of all this shit, you are loved. You can love and accept yourself regardless of that. And that failure, viewing yourself as a failure, is not helpful in any sense of the word. That is going to make anything in your life much harder. So, when you fail, because you're going to fail, you're on self-improvement, you want more for your life. And self-improvement, this is the path to do it. Which means, you're going to fail. You're not better than 99.99999% of people. Everyone fails. Everyone you look up to, they fail. So stop expecting yourself not to fail, and when you do fail, cut yourself some slack and just kick your ass and get back up and she'll be right, mate. Don't just stay down there. I failed once, I'm never going to succeed. That self-talk doesn't help either. And that leads into the third point. Stop negative self-talk. That little voice in your fucking head, that can be your biggest enemy to anything you want in life. If you want to go approach that girl, what does your internal chatter say to you? I'm not worth it. I can't. She wouldn't like me. She's going to reject me anyway. I know this because this has been my brain. I remember a time when I went to go cold approach a girl. I saw her in the shops. She looked cute as hell, and I wanted to go talk to her. What does my brain say? I see the girl, make eye contact, look at her, and then my brain just says, ha 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 ha, no, you're not worthy. Why would I listen to that? That is so stupid. So basically, that negative self-talk, you want to not identify with those thoughts. Those thoughts are not you. You can observe them right now, which means in and of itself, you are not your thoughts. This key insight, understanding that you are not your thoughts and that you are separate from your thoughts, allows you to look at them and then realize, oh, hey, that drivel I just said about myself isn't true. I'm going to go do what I actually want now. And when you tell yourself you can't, and when you call yourself a failure, this is just, stop doing that. It's not productive. It's not helpful. It's easier to do that because that's likely how you've been conditioned and how you've always been. But you need to become conscious of when you're doing this and just look at it and laugh. I remember going to bed one time. This was probably like 4 or 5 months ago. No, actually probably like a year ago, to be honest. Jeez, time's gone quick. Anyway, I remember going to bed and I had a few sentences of inner chatter of, you're not going to achieve this. Why are you starting with YouTube? You're not going to do anything. I had like 2 sentences of, it's like self-doubt. And then I just became conscious. I just looked at it and I was just like, what type of bullshit is that? Why on earth would I listen to that or condone this speech in my mind? It just baffled me. You have to take that sort of attitude with yourself, with your thoughts. Just look at it as if it's a stupid little child just doing a prank or something. It's just like, yeah, okay. Just laugh. Be curious and just notice it for what it is. It's not facts, it's not truth, it's not objective. It's not anything. It's just a thought. You have thousands of thoughts a day. Why are you identifying so strongly with this thought? You don't have to. So anyway, that is this video. These pieces of advice will change your life. Take action. And yeah, appreciate you watching. Like, sub helps me a lot. Take care of yourself, mate. Bye-bye.